What's going on, guys? Seed Zero Media here, doing another vlog out of the Evo. Finally, the Evo has been done for the most of summertime because I had to rebuild the head. I had to install new valves, valve stems, and I also had to do some machine work on the turbo compressor housing, but it is running awesome again, right? Nice and healthy. In the meantime, the Evo was down. I was driving around in my daily, so that was no problem. And that's the topic I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about, can you daily a high horsepower Evo? That was a question I was getting from my subscribers. It seemed like a lot of you are looking into getting an Evo and you can only buy one car. And you're asking me, can you daily an Evo? And some of you are also already Evo owners looking to up the power, like 500, 600 horsepower range, asking me, can you daily a high horsepower Evo? And before I get into this topic, the phrase daily is going to change depending on where you live in the world. Out here in Michigan, where it snows in the winter time, it's essential that you get all-wheel drive car or at least a front-wheel drive car in the winter time, because you're not going anywhere if you have rear-wheel drive car in the snow. If you have a rear-wheel drive car in Michigan in the winter time, I would at least recommend that you get winter tires to get some traction. If you live in South or like Florida, yeah, you can daily drive a Honda S2000 all year round, no problem, and I would do that for sure, because it doesn't snow there. So that's always a difference when you talk about daily on internet. Depending on where you live, the requirements are going to be changing. But of course, you can daily anything. You guys know Mr. Bean, right? The funny comedian guy. He's also a car guy, and he owns a McLaren F1. And I'm not sure if he still does this, but from what I have heard, he was daily driving the McLaren F1. Not the P1, not the new ones, the old school, pure race car, McLaren F1. And I think he crashed it one time, but fixed it and started daily driving it again. But that just kind of tells you that you can daily drive anything you want as long as you're committed. Evo is nothing like a McLaren F1, and it's great for daily driving because it's, first of all-wheel drive. Every time it snows, the public roads go dead. Most of the rear-wheel drive cars go home, and front-wheel drive cars also. This is when the Evos, Subarus, the Audis, Jeeps come out, because there's nothing like driving an all-wheel drive sports car in snow. It is the best feeling to be ripping apart in an empty parking lot in snow in all-wheel drive cars. And just for that reason, getting an Evo for daily, especially if you live in a region where it snows a lot, is awesome. Now, secondly, Evos, of course, are 4 doors. When I picked up the FD with a roll cage, I couldn't even put 2 tires in the car. When you got the Evo, you got 4 doors. You can literally put a set of tires, whether you want to go to a track day or if you're transporting tires, no problem. A lot of car guys who get married and their wife is telling them that you can only own 1 car, but it has to have 4 seats. A lot of people go with Evo because you can still put Recaro child seats in the back and have a fast-ass family car. Not that I care about MPGs on this car, but it is a 2-liter turbo car, so the gas mileage on these cars are not so horrible, unless you are like me, making 500 horsepower, and then the gas mileage goes out the door. But you know, that just depends on what you want to do with your car. Now, moving into why Evos are horrible for daily use. First of all, when you're making about 500, 600 wheel horsepower, you absolutely cannot live with the stock clutch. In my car, I have the XZE Twin. A lot of XZE Twins make that chatter noise when you push the clutch down to the floor. So it's noisy, and it's quite a walkout on your left foot in traffic, especially if you have like a XZE triple clutch, or if you have like aggressive quartermaster clutches. Another thing about drivability on these cars is that turning radius on Evos are just horrible. Every time I go to a car show and try to pull up into a parking spot, people look at me like I don't know what I'm doing, like I just got a new license, because the turning radius on these cars is like 3/4 of what it is on a normal SUV. you literally have to make 3-point turns, 5-point turns everywhere you go. The Evo I'm driving, which is the Evo 8 GSR, is a 5-speed also. And a lot of people swap out from 6-speed to 5-speed just because the 6-speeds actually are not that reliable. A lot of people blow up the 6-speed and convert to 5-speed, or they just rebuild the 5-speed from the beginning because the 5-speeds are just more reliable. And of course, that means highway cruising is not going to be that enjoyable. You're doing like 60, 70 miles per hour in 3,000 RPM. If you are driving on Autobahn, cruising at like 100 miles per hour, 120 miles per hour, you're literally at like 4,000, 5,000 RPM. That's really up there for these 2-cylinder motors. And also, if you cruise on the highway a lot, Evo 8s do not come with cruise control, so long distance travels are not going to be the most comfortable ride for you. Of course, you can buy the JDM Evo 8 cruise control device and install it if that's necessary, but that's something that you have to consider when you're thinking about daily driving an Evo. It does not have cruise control. In terms of interior, when you sit in the car and look at the dash, it really reminds you of early 2000 Japanese car, because to be honest, it's kind of crappy, it's minimalistic, you got your climate control, you got the radio, and the single DIN radio that comes with these cars is quite horrible. And the speakers on Evo 8s are pretty bad too. You really can't hear the subwoofer. I know there's SSL package, which is sound and leather, which is really nice if you want to daily drive it, but it's also expensive. Every time I drive my 6 Series BMW and come back to this Evo, I feel like going from listening to both sound system at home and all of a sudden switching on like an iPhone speakerphone. But you know what? Why do you need to listen to the radio when you got the awesome 2-liter turbo sound right in front of you? Now, this is a problem that I solved by getting rid of, but the stock wing that comes on these cars draws so much attention, not just from the public, but also from the police, especially from the police. Especially here by Evo with a few aerodynamic parts, like you got like front splitters, you got bright color wheels like I do, you got the red Brembos and a big wing in the back. You're guaranteed to get pulled over. And another thing about the big wing in the back is that at night when you look to the back through the rear view mirror, the top of the wing kind of lines up with where the headlights are. So you can't really tell what kind of a car is behind you. One thing Evos do attract is a lot of views. Every time guys hear my car, they literally just snap their neck, they break their neck, stare at my car, stare at my wheel, just listen to that turbo sound and the cams and ask me all about the car. So yeah, if you want attention from guys, yeah, get the Evo. You'll get a lot of them. But in the end, yes, Evos are great daily driver cars. It's 4 doors, all-wheel drive, and it's pretty quick when you want to get on it. And pretty reliable for the most part, unless you triple or double the horsepower like a lot of Evo guys are doing nowadays. A lot of people say Evos are unreliable, but you know what? You gotta consider how much power these cars are making. You're not just talking about a Subaru making 500 horsepower braking. You're talking about, in most cases, Evo's making 500 horsepower on stock block, and it does hold that much power. These 4063 engines are engineered to perfection. It's got like a decade or so of engineering, and these cars love to make power. But if you're looking for more of a comfortable, daily drivable, even nicer interior, Evo 10s will maybe be a better option for you. That's it, guys. Just answering another one of your questions. I'm glad I got to do another vlog in the Evo because I miss doing vlogs in this car, and this is what my channel is all about. Let me know what you think about my comments, if you agree or disagree, and I'll see you in my next vlog series. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay safe out there.